Well, that lingering question of who will our rookie QB be throwing the ball to now that wide receiver DJ Moore has indeed been traded to the Chicago Bears has finally been answered. Just a few short hours ago, it was announced that my Carolina Panthers have agreed to terms with wide receiver Adam Thielen to come in and be potentially wide receiver one for the foreseeable future. And in this video, I'm going to give you all my thoughts, the good, the bad, and everything in between on this signing. And we're going to get into that right after this.
From the foe, you dig?
Welcome to The Way I See It with Jamario Rashad. This is a Carolina Panthers fan channel. Please do me a favor by hitting the like button, and please make sure you subscribe as I am on my road to 1K. Well, 2K now. Just trying to get this channel popping before the season starts. Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get to this signing. If you have not heard, we have officially agreed to terms with former Minnesota Viking wide receiver Adam Thielen to come in and fight for the job of wide receiver one or potentially wide receiver two, depending on the ascension of Terrace Marshall this offseason. Now, to give you all a little more background information on just who we are getting in Adam Thielen is 6'2", 200 pounds from Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. He was undrafted in 2013 from Minnesota State. He has spent 9 years in the NFL, and in those 9 years, he has 534 catches, 6,682 yards, 55 touchdowns, and he has moved the chains for 341 first downs. Now, in terms of how these numbers break down, I'm going to give you all the story of the numbers, as it is very interesting in terms of Adam Thielen's career. Now, in his first 2 years of actually being an active player on the roster, from 2014 to 2015, Adam Thielen only started in 4 games, had 20 catches, and 1 first down. Now, in that time, he was playing behind Super Bowl champion Greg Jennings, Jarius Wright, Mike Wallace, as well as a rookie, Stephon Diggs. Now, moving into the next portion of his career, which would have been the 4 years that took place between 2016 and 2019, this is when Adam Thielen actually won the starting position and his career actually took off. In that time, he started 58 games, had 303 catches, as well as 24 touchdowns. Now, during that time, he was splitting targets with soon-to-be All-Pro wide receiver Stephon Diggs. Now, during this 4-year period, Stephon Diggs had 450 targets to Thielen's 435 targets, which in the end probably led to Stephon Diggs' departure to the Buffalo Bills. Now, by 2017, Adam Thielen had undoubtedly proven to be the #1 receiver of the two guys on the outside, being a Pro Bowler in 2017 as well as 2018, but having his best year ever in 2017, where he was actually awarded the position of being an All-Pro member for that year, man. And as I said, with Thielen emerging to be this dominant of a force on that Minnesota Vikings team, even before they had a steady QB, this is under the tutelage of Case Keenum behind center. He was able to be that dominant. That led to the departure of Stephon Diggs. Now, to speak to these last 3 years of his career, being from 2020 to 2022, those 3 years coincide with the drafting and the emergence of second place Rookie of the Year vote getter, best rookie wide receiver ever, and arguably the best wide receiver in the league since being drafted, in Justin Jefferson. Now, from 2020 to 2022, Adam Thielen started in 45 games. He had 211 catches and 30 touchdowns. Now, in 2022, as I mentioned, the Minnesota Vikings would go on to draft Justin Jefferson, whom would have the greatest rookie wide receiver year ever in the year 2022. Still, although Justin Jefferson came in and had such an immense impact, Adam Thielen still had over 900 yards as well as 14 touchdowns. So he was still an absolute beast, no matter how dominant the guy on the other side of the field was. Since then, Justin Jefferson has emerged as the undoubted number one receiver of the bunch, but that still does not mean that Justin Jefferson has emerged as the number one, but that still does not mean that Adam Thielen has fallen off. That just speaks to just how dominant Justin Jefferson can be. Now, to give you all a little perspective as to just how good Adam Thielen still is at this current time, I'm going to give you all a retrospective of just how his numbers stacked up against all of our wide receiving core in 2022. Now, in 2022, Adam Thielen started in all 17 games. He had 70 catches, 715 yards, as well as 6 TDs. And as I mentioned, this was alongside Justin Jefferson, who had over 1,500 yards, over 115 targets, and was just a dominator on his side of the field. Adam Thielen still had a relatively great year for wide receiver standards. Now, if you look at the bottom of the graphic over there on the other side, you will see, aside from DJ Moore, we did not have a single wide receiver that caught for over 500 yards. And with DJ Moore being a true number one receiver and the only true wide receiver threat that we had throughout the entirety of the year, although we were facing dysfunction at the quarterback position, these other guys should have been able to get open with as much attention that DJ Moore was commanding, with double teams and all of the safety help in terms of just teams making sure that we could not have our number one guy, be it Terrace Marshall Jr., Shi Smith, or Laviska Shenault. None of these guys were able to actually step up, emerge, and to be a receiving threat that other teams would actually scheme up to care about, because they weren't effective in their roles. Laviska Shenault most of these receptions in my head should go as rushes, because they were just screens. The one touchdown that he got was on a screen pass. He did not go out on many routes, and when he did, we couldn't get the ball to him very much. But with that being said, man, none of these guys are able to put out as much of a none of these guys have put out as much good tape as we have seen from Adam Thielen. So if you remove DJ Moore from the equation, we are just left with the other guys there, and none of these guys, even at his advanced age, even on what many would consider the back half of his career, being on the quote-unquote wrong side of 30, Adam Thielen is still a more effective guy than the remainder of our wide receiver core, no matter how you want to look at it, man. So in conclusion, what are my overall thoughts on this signing? I believe that it is a tremendous signing by Scott Fitterer, Frank Reich, as well as David Tepper, to go out and make this move. This has been a question that has lingered on for a long time, or at least over the last week and a half, since we traded up for that first overall pick and got DJ Moore. Many people have questioned just who are we going to have catching the ball. There are some Terrace Marshall truthers that believe that he could be a wide receiver one, but I believe the vast majority of fans were very worried, as we do not have a pass catching tight end. We have not seen very effective pass catching from, as I said, Terrace Marshall Jr., Shi Smith. In my opinion, he just isn't that guy yet. So this answers a lot of questions for Panthers fans. And as I mentioned, when I showed you the breakdown of the numbers, even though this guy is 32 years old, undoubtedly he is the best wide receiver on the roster, hands down. There is no argument otherwise, whether it be age, skill, ability, efficiency. He has it all, and fortune favors nobody else on this roster over Adam Thielen. So with that being said, man, I would have to say, in addition to Reich, Tepper, and Fitterer liking this guy, with our new offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown, coming over from the Los Angeles Rams, actually winning a Super Bowl in that offensive coordinator capacity back in 2021, him working with a wide receiver the likes of Cooper Kupp may have played a big part in the Carolina Panthers choosing to bring this guy in. Why do I say that? Because although Adam Thielen is not as good as Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen at his best was very comparable and had very comparable play styles to that of Cooper Kupp. No, they may not be the most athletic. No, they may not be the most fast. No, they may not jump the highest, but they always seem to find a way to be open, and they are very sure-handed in majority of their opportunities. So Thomas Brown working with Sean McVay, also working with Matt Stafford, and by proxy also seeing the impact that Cooper Kupp could have on a quarterback. I believe that may have played a very big part in bringing Adam Thielen to this team, as I truly do believe that he is still slightly comparable at this point in his career to a Cooper Kupp. And finally, to any people that may be worried about his age and or injury status or anything like that, as I mentioned earlier in the video, Adam Thielen did play in all 17 games last year, so he is good to go. He has not been nicked. Age has not seemed to have him with any nagging injuries at any point. So pointing to his age is not truly a point that should be viewed as valid by anybody, because his ability to stay on the field has been documented, only missing, I believe, 3 or 4 games over the last 3 seasons. So Adam Thielen is pretty much good to go, and age and attrition shouldn't be anything that anybody's worried about. So with that being said, man, those are my thoughts on the addition of Adam Thielen to my Carolina Panthers. You all be sure to leave your comments down below. What do you all think about Adam Thielen? Is this veteran addition a good choice for a rookie QB? In my opinion, it is. But whatever you all think, leave your comments down below. Be sure to like the video. And always remember, I am Jamario Rashad. This is the way I see it. And I'm out. Peace.